You know what, dude? I've always said this. When people come to you for a reading, they come for one of three things. Okay? They either come for love, money, or health. All right? Three things. All right? But when I read, I try to get to the thing of the problem. You know, the core of the problem.
Yeah.
You understand? Because a lot of times people think, well, I'm hexed, or I got this and I got that. And a lot of times it's ancestral. Well, let's do this. Let's find out who your ancestors are. Which one of your ancestors may be blocking the roads for you? All right? Let's find out what it is. What is the core of this problem? Why can't you keep a man? You know, why can't I keep a woman? You know, there's certain foods that I cannot eat that just drive me crazy or infuriate me. You understand?
Yes.
So we got to find out the core of the problem. A lot of times it's ancestral. See, let me tell you a story. I had a client a while back ago that had a problem. Very pro this, very pro black, very this. And during the divination, it came up that she had a white ancestor. She had a white ancestor. Why? Because he raped one of the ancestors. This ancestor was making everything in that lady's life go backwards. Why? Because he wanted attention. But not only because he wanted attention, he wanted forgiveness from so many times. But the female ancestor that he had raped had him, let's say, with her foot on his neck. She would not let him move on or move forward. So therefore, he kept on making the client's life a living hell. You understand? So we had to find a way to appease the other spirit, the one that got raped. We need to find a way to appease that spirit so that she could loosen up the grip that she had on that one spirit that was making another person's life a living hell. You understand?
I do.
You know, we try to get to the core of the problems. Why are these things happening?
Not everything is, somebody throwing something, a curse. Some of it is our own shit. Some of it is the ancestral.
Well, you know what? 20 years ago, I would have said not everything is like that. But now, these days, the problem is that a lot of people that are doing these so-called curses and doing these things don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay? So, it gives you a couple of stumbling blocks and stuff like that there. But let me tell you something. Michael, you're in the community. You see it.
Yes.
How many people are out there now that call themselves root workers or hoodoo doctors or whatever, Mambo Swami, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't laugh.
Mambo Swami, I couldn't help it.
Mambo Swami, yeah. Let me pat myself on the back for that one. So, nowadays, people, man, you look at a person wrong and they trying to work you. There is so much dudes out here walking around with so much spiritual caca on them. Come on, Michael. You know that 99% of the people that come to me are women? Huh? Trying to get back either with their man or trying to get their man to submit or something like that. There is so much dudes out here these days that are worked on that you wouldn't even imagine. Like I said, 99% of the people that come to me are women. The other 1% is the men that get drug in by women. Like we say in Palo, the yayis are the eyes to our thing. So, women are the eyes to our spirituality. They know when something is afoot in your man's life, when he's carrying that extra baggage, when he can't get right. So they bring them, to you then. So go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry. I go off into rambling.
That's all right.
And stuff. And if I'm not making sense, you tell me, Candelo, man, shut the fuck up, and I will, okay?
So when you're doing your divination, you're doing what a lot of people would call also spiritual investigations too.
Right.
Can you explain that to our listening audience?
Sure. A spiritual investigation, okay, the way that I put it. And I was, again, one of the first guys to do this, okay? A lot of people won't admit it, but I was one of the first guys to do this, okay? A spiritual investigation, the way that I do my spiritual investigation, okay, is to sit down and divinate and connect with the person's spirits, okay? Who walks with my client, all right? It may be a grandmother or a grandfather or a great-great-grandmother or great-grandfather, a father, a brother, or it may be spirits from an ancestral cord, okay? Because we believe that we have ancestral cords. That's why our Mesa Blancas have so many cups. One is for the main eguns, for your main spirits, and the other ones are for the other legions of spirits, okay? Especially when you're a person like myself that is multiracial, okay? I have the Congos. I have the Arab line. I have this line. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, so there's different lines of different spirits. Okay, so when I do a spiritual investigation, what I'm trying to find out is what spirits walk with you. Okay, and what those spirits need of you. All right, so that they may better help you. Okay, it says, serve me so that I may serve you. Serve me so that I may better serve. Okay, that's the link you want with your ancestors. Okay, so if your grandmother was a seamstress in real life, right? Mm-hmm. She may want you to put on her altar some sewing thread, a thimble, maybe a better thimble than what she had in life. You understand? Old Grandpa Joe used to chew tobacco. Well, guess what? Get him some chewing tobacco. Put it by that thing. You may have a Native American spirit that had a medicine bag. Put that on them. And so on and so forth. So a spiritual investigation breaks down to who are your main spirits, what do they want, and recognition of those spirits.
And in doing that, people are able to, lift themselves up spiritually, connect better with their guides, their spirits. If they're a diviner, it also lifts their abilities because now they're getting a stronger connection.
Exactly.
And, I'm a firm believer that when you are doing any kind of divination, you have to call upon your guides, your ancestors. If you don't have a connection with your own ancestors and spirits, I don't see that as an actual divination because you're not calling on anybody.
Do you want to laugh, Michael?
I always love to laugh.
You know how many people I've had to, message on Facebook and on, people are doing a lot of Facebook Lives now, right?
Yes.
And, I'm doing a Facebook Live. I've seen people do Facebook Lives on everything but their fucking toilets. All right? Doing divination. But the one thing that pisses me off, that irks me, is every time that I see someone doing a Facebook Live and they're divining on top of their bed. Why does it piss me off? Because the bed is where you go to sleep.
Yes. Among other things.
Yeah, good. Go to sleep, you have sex, whatever. Now, we call that when you're opening up cards, when you're doing divination, you're opening up portals and you're opening up letters, okay? Whether they be good letters or bad letters, okay? But those things are not things that just go into the air and dissipate, all right? If you're opening up a letter about someone that can't never get a man and that's on top of your bed, are you going to get a man? Fuck no, you're not.
Nope.
All right? If you're bringing up letters about someone who's going to, die tragically or whatever it may be, you're doing that on top of your fucking bed. You're opening up portals for that shit to come to you. You know how much people I see that start reading people, don't say a prayer, don't say nothing, all right? Don't clean themselves off, all right? I was taught that whenever you did a reading, you had at least, at the minimum, a thing of alcohol by you, a bottle of alcohol.
Bottle of alcohol, a bowl of water, a white candle, Florida water,
Exactly.
and a cigar.
All right? Because you're opening up portals. You're opening up doors. You're getting all those people's spiritual caca all over you.
And you got to cleanse that. You got
to cleanse. The funny, now, you know what I laugh at too? Every time I see somebody, I got to cleanse my card, and they go grab some fucking sage. The fuck? Sage dispels spirits. Why the fuck do you want to clean your goddamn cards with it?
I don't ever clean mine.
Exactly.
I let that energy build.
Sage my cards. Really? Who the fuck taught you that?
One of my decks, when I first got it, I buried it.
Yeah.
I wanted that deep connection to the earth, to where, even not in a cemetery, because basically the whole world is a cemetery. Mm-hmm. Bury it for 9 days, 21 days, however long my spirits tell me they want those cards to be buried, and I let them connect.
And that's not a bad.
I don't ever clean or cleanse any of my spiritual cards because I like that energy to build. I like to have that sit, grow, just like a person. Anybody's spiritual energy. Your cards are part of you. They're part of your spiritual energy, and they should also be growing.
Exactly.
And not everything in life is, peaches and cream. There's a lot of crap that goes on.
Exactly.
And the cards deal with those too.
So I try to tell people, man, it's very simple. Some Florida water, a couple of herbs, even from outside your yard, okay? A couple of herbs, a couple of things, some road opener, these things will be good to keep inside that bottle next to where you divinate, okay? You splash a little bit on. If the client's in front of you, guess what? Make them splash it on, okay? We all know that people carry bad spiritual energy. So you need to go on ahead and tell your clients when they're sitting up in front of you, hey, rub this on you. Give them a little mini cleaning right there on top of the table, And plus, you can't trust people anyway. At least I don't, just in case they got a little gopher dust up under their nails.
You have to have them clean, And a lot of times, spiritual workers are working from their home. So you're bringing people in to where you live, to where you sleep, to where you eat.
Right.
You got to have them cleanse stuff.
Exactly.
Let's leave that crap at the door.
Well, and it's also very important that people put layers of protection in their homes when they're bringing clients from the outside in. Okay. I put layers of protections from my block, then my yard, then the house, then the inside of the house. So in order for a person to get me, they have to go through a bunch of different spiritual barriers or layers of protection. So I try to tell people all the time, you know what? You're a reader, okay? You're a great reader. Or you're a so-called worker. Is your house fixed? Is the room where you work at fixed? And not because of thing like that there, because that these spiritualities, I wish it was all kumbaya and we're all holding hands, but
it's not.
It's not. It's not. And a lot of people, like they say in Spanish, they'll take out one eye just to see you blind.